Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. The Epoch Times reports that Japan's government plans to introduce new regulations by summer 2027, requiring local governments to procure only IT equipment that has passed cybersecurity certification. This policy aims to comprehensively reduce the risks of data leakage and cyber attacks, marking a significant expansion of Japan's cybersecurity defenses. The new rules will cover personal computers, communication devices, servers, and cloud services. As the existing certification system, led by the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, and the National Center of Incident Readiness and Strategy for Cybersecurity, does not include Chinese products. This move will effectively exclude Chinese-made IT equipment from local government procurement. The government assesses that Chinese-made devices could be exploited for information leaks or serve as platforms for cyber attacks by foreign entities. The Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications will establish a dedicated support window to help local governments transition. This measure extends the cybersecurity standards previously applied only to central government agencies since 2018, integrating local government security into the national strategy. It is seen as part of a broader de-risking of the supply chain, highlighting the intertwining of technology and national security. Amid the ongoing energy crisis, exacerbated by the Middle East war's impact on fuel prices, the European Commission is set to propose measures aimed at reducing fossil fuel consumption. According to documents obtained by the Financial Times and reported by Thai Sounds, these proposals to be presented to member states next week include encouraging companies to implement at least 1 day of mandatory remote work where feasible. Additionally, the Commission suggests subsidizing public transport and reducing VAT on clean energy technologies such as heat pumps, boilers, and solar panels. These recommendations, though largely non-binding, are part of a broader effort to lower energy demand, enhance efficiency, and accelerate the transition to cleaner energy sources. The EU had previously issued similar advice during the energy crisis sparked by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Furthermore, the Commission will introduce legislative proposals to revise electricity market rules to lower transmission costs and ensure electricity tax rates are lower than those for fossil fuels. China's corporate credit performance has maintained a solid and sound trend, with the China Enterprise Credit Index remaining within a historically high range. Xinyuanet reported on April 19, 2026. Data from the State Administration for Market Regulation shows the index was 162.05 in the first quarter of 2026. Although it edged down slightly by 0.13 points from Q4 2025, it rose by 0.39 points from Q3 last year. The reading further climbed to 162.26 in March 2026, up 0.17 points month-on-month. The administration highlighted that the proportion of enterprises with low credit risks has expanded due to strengthened regulatory efforts. Looking ahead, China is set to establish an institutional framework for comprehensive corporate credit evaluation, integrating public credit assessment with market assessment to bolster its fundamental role. Antara News reports that the Indonesian government is actively accelerating disaster recovery efforts across Sumatra Island. Public Works Minister Dodi Hanggodo confirmed that most connectivity infrastructure, including national roads and bridges in affected areas, is now operational, significantly supporting public mobility and logistics distribution. Data indicates that 107 affected roads and 43 bridges have been fully restored, while 94% of regional road sections and 67% of regional bridges have resumed operations. Despite the considerable progress, certain areas, particularly Aceh province, continue to face severe challenges due to heavy rainfall and downstream mudflows. Minister Doty emphasized the urgent need to accelerate work under these conditions. In response, the ministry is implementing sediment control measures, such as constructing sabo dams and coordinating with regional governments and the Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysics Agency, BMKG, for potential weather modification efforts. Recovery in basic services also shows progress, with 165 out of 176 affected drinking water supply systems now operational, and new boreholes being constructed. The Public Works Ministry is committed to an intensive, coordinated approach, including working with the Agriculture Ministry on agricultural recovery and the Indonesian Army for rapid infrastructure support, adhering to the Build Back Better principle for more resilient and sustainable recovery. According to Liberty Times, Blue Origin, the space company founded by Amazon's Jeff Bezos, is set to make a significant leap forward tomorrow by launching its large New Glenn rocket using a reused booster for the first time. This innovative approach is crucial for Blue Origin in its intense competition with Elon Musk's SpaceX. A successful launch would help increase future launch frequency and reduce operational costs. The nearly 100-meter-tall New Glenn rocket is scheduled to lift off from Cape Canaveral, Florida, between 6:45 a.m. and 8:45 a.m. local time, carrying communication satellites for AST SpaceMobile, while Blue Origin has previously reused components on its smaller New Shepard rockets, primarily for suborbital space tourism. This marks their first attempt with a larger orbital class rocket. The company achieved a major milestone last November by successfully recovering a New Glenn booster, performing a highly complex vertical landing on a barge in the Atlantic Ocean. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.